Scouting players is a very important part of Football Manager, especially if you're doing a long-term save. In this video, I'm going to show you how to improve your scouting and set up your scouting assignments. And if that sounds good to you, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button down below, and let's get into scouting. So the first thing to do is check how good your current scouts are. This is my Twitch save, which I'm doing with Genk from Belgium. I stream it live on Twitch, and the link will be down in the description if you want to check that out. And I replaced every single scout at the club. I mean everyone, every single staff member that was already there, gone. And when you're on the staff page, you can see how good your scouting is compared to the rest of the teams in your league. As you can see here, we have the highest average in judging player potential, highest average in judging their ability, and the highest average in analysing data. So we have the best scouting team in this league. And one thing to do is to remember to keep asking for more scouts. I have recently done this. As you see, I have 7 out of 7 scouts. When I started the save, I had 6 scouts. I asked for more and I got them. You can ask for more scouts in 2 places. The staff page, in this little drop down here, or in your club vision. You can make a board request, you can come down to staff, and then ask for more scouts. You can see I asked for scouts recently, and they were allowed. I actually asked for more physios and coaching staff and a bunch of other things, and they gave me it all. And always remember to go and check if that option has returned. When it's returned, ask again and keep asking, and then the better your scouting network will become. So what makes a good scout? Well, the game highlights what attributes they need. That's adaptability, judging player potential, and judging their ability. So if we look at Antonio Mur, you see here he's got 18 adaptability, 18 judging ability, and 18 judging potential. And remember to pay attention to their adaptability. Adaptability will allow them to go to new countries and quickly get up to speed in that country, therefore allowing them to do their job better. If we hover over adaptability, it says, a high adaptability attribute will enable the staff member to settle quickly in a new country, but will also help a little in settling in at new clubs and new roles. The faster the member of staff can integrate into their new working environment, the quicker and better they can do the job. So remember, that's actually quite an important attribute. Don't just always focus on how well they can judge an ability or player. I have tried to get scouts that have decent adaptability. You can see here that Lika has 19, as well as 20 judging ability and 20 potential. But you may find if you're at a lower level than the top teams, you might have to give on one of the attributes. And adaptability is one I gave up on. I would rather get a good idea of what that player is like. So I've hired folk like Richard Moore, who has 8 adaptability, but 17 judging ability and 17 judging their potential. It's all about trying to get the best scouts you can into your team. And sometimes you'll have to make some sacrifices. It can be quite handy to have a mix of scouts in your team, especially if you can find a scout that has good tactical knowledge. You can actually use them to provide a report on the team you're going to be playing next. At the moment, there's not a scout available to me that meets my requirements, but that's the type of scout that I'll be looking to get next. So if we go to the scouting tab, you can see at the top that we are responsible for scouting. You can actually choose to delegate this, but it's better to handle this yourself, I think. You can see what assignments you have going on. There's currently 9 active, how many members are in your team, the scouting budget, and how much is remaining. And you can also see your transfer budget and wage budget. If you were to click on scouting budget, you can actually adjust this value. You can actually take money from your scouting budget and add it to your transfer budget. Or if you had some transfer budget, you can actually move it the other way as well. The scouting budget is actually really important. Scouting players is a cost. So when you send a scout to another nation, it's going to cost flights, hotels, all the kind of things you can think of. So it's good to pay attention to this value and add money to it if you can. If you go to player search, you can actually choose what type of recruitment package you have. You click here at the top left, we can see we have the Central Europe package. You can choose the World package, which covers all players in the world, or no package. And these packages all cost a certain amount of money per month, and they come out of the scouting budget. Always go with the highest one you can afford, but be sensible about it. There'd be no point for us going for the World package at the moment when it's 60k per month, because we would burn through our budget in just a couple months. So the third option here is assignment. And here you can see all the active assignments your scouts are on, and you can see all your scouts. If we look at Luciano Capena, you can see his current assignment is UK and Ireland, and it's ongoing. Ilmaz Bural is doing South Europe, ongoing, and so on, so on. So I've got all my assignments already set up, but I'll show you how to do that just now. So we'll come down to Lika, and we will stop his current assignment, we'll cancel it. You can do that by hitting the minus button beside him. So now it says he has no current assignment. You can choose to create a new assignment by hitting this button here, create new assignment. But the way I prefer to do it is do it per scout. So I know which scout is going to be going to which locations. So I would click on Lika, go to his reports, and then scout assignments. And here you can create a new assignment just for this scout. So create a new assignment. And then we have all these options here. You can choose players, teams, or a specific match. So you can actually scout any of these matches that come up. And you can go forward however many days you like. On teams, you can choose a specific team, ongoing analyst reports for how many matches, or reports on your next opposition. And then finally players, and this is where you have the most options to customize what you're looking for. At the top, you can say if it's a transfer, a loan, or end of contract. You can say what budget, if there's a certain budget you have for a player. You can say the scope. Now this is the location that they'll be looking. So you can go competition, you can scout the Champions League to UEFA Youth League, nations, individual nations like England or Hungary, the region, so let's say Northern Europe or South Europe, or continent, so Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, Oceania and South America. And these scouts will go to those locations and start looking for players. So a good one to go look at is the UEFA Youth League. And then at the left hand side, you have player type. So are there a first team player you're looking for, backup, hot prospect, or a replacement for a certain player you have. And if you select these, this will give you presets down here. So if you select first team player, it will give you their current ability is at least good, hot prospect, is their age is at most 24, and their potential is at least good. You can ask for the player to fit a certain tactic that you have. You can put in find a similar player to another player. So let's put in Onuachu, the striker we have at Genk. And that will automatically fill in what type of role he plays and his key attributes. And then you can start assignment, and that scout will go and look for a player similar to the player that you suggested. You can select which position you're looking for and which role for that position. And you can tick which attributes you're looking for, and you can specify what values you want them to be. So greater than 10 for corners and 10 for finishing. Or at the bottom, you can add additional conditions like age. You can say they are at most 19 years old. And you can also add in their scouted current ability and their scouted potential ability. So we'll add in scouted potential ability is superb. We want really, really good players to be scouted and suggested to us. So we'll go superb. And then the duration is how long they'll do it. So it's until finished, 1 month, 6 months, a year, or ongoing. So until finished, they will go and have a look at this competition until that competition is finished, or they'll go to the nation, have a look around the nation once, and that's until finished for that. These other ones, 1 month to 1 year, are time based. Ongoing means they will keep looking, keep going back. When they're finished, they'll start it again and just keep looking at all the players that fit your criteria that you have suggested. So I leave mine at ongoing. And once you're happy with how you have it set up, you can click start assignment, and he will go away and start looking for players that fit your criteria. The reason I prefer to do it through the Scout's profile is when you're setting the assignments up, you can actually see what their adaptability is beforehand. So you know if that Scout's adaptable, he can go to different places. If he's not so adaptable, it's better to send him to places he's already comfortable with, which you don't get if you set it up through the scouting page. If you click on create new assignment, at the bottom you can say who's going to do this assignment. At the moment it's scouting pool. You can select which scout you want to do it. So we select Antonio Moore. You can see 18 and 18. You can see what nations he's comfortable going to, but you don't know how adaptable he is. So that's one reason why I prefer to do it the other way. You also have a knowledge tab in the scouting section. At the very top it actually tells you how much of the world you have knowledge of. We currently have 36%. And you can see here what parts of the world we have covered and what parts we don't really have covered. So our world knowledge is currently 36% widespread. Our Western Europe is very good, 96 outstanding. And on the right hand side, you can see what's the source of why you know about them. So you can see we know about Spain because Richard Moore, one of our scouts. We know about Paraguay because Luciano Capena knows a bit about them. This is a handy page to look at to know where the gaps are in your scouting network. So let me know down in the comments where your favourite place to send your scouts is. Where have you found some really talented new gens? What regions do you like to send your scouts to? Let me know all that down in the comments. So you also get recruitment analysts as part of your scouting team. Now these guys actually analyse the player and can give you more information than just the scout report. If we look at Lee Mooney, who's my recruitment analyst at Genk, he has 16 judging player ability and 16 analysing data. So he's a pretty decent recruitment analyst. It can be a good idea to get an analyst report on the player you're looking to sign as well, because it gives you more information about them. If we're looking at Benjamin Sesko, who I have a scout report on, and it says he would be a superb signing, obviously. And it gives me all the information about him, like he's a fairly consistent performer, he matches my philosophy signings, he's got a normal personality. But we also have an analyst report on him too. We click on Note Reports, go to Analyst Report. If you don't have one here, it will say, give you an option to get one. And we get a bit more information about him. Say how many matches he's won, his player of the matches. Also says he's had 50% of his shots on targets and he gets 4 goals out of that. So getting these reports will make a player that you are thinking about signing into one that you definitely want to sign. More information will help you. If you don't have that many scouts to begin with, I would suggest scouting all the regions first, like Eastern Europe. You get quite a few good youngsters coming through there, and that would give you a broad base to start with early on. But once you have all your assignments set up, you will then start to get a list of players coming through suggested from your scouts. And that's on the main page of the scouting section. And you can see here, these guys are all suggested by my recruitment team. And there's a 17-year-old player here, Portuguese from Grimares B team, that I'd never heard of before, but they say he's one for the future and signed for any price. So we were able to find this player quickly because we've already sent our scouts to go and look at Portugal, for example. So definitely get the best scouts you can, get them out looking for players, and enjoy finding all the wonderful players that you didn't know about. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video, hope it's been helpful. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and cheerio!